Foreign Minister, as you understand it, as we talk, what is the position as regards the former Shah?
Well, obviously when the telephone conversation took place, it was 3:50 a.m. in our time, which is rather at night in Panama. He said he's going to announce the decision in the morning Panama time, which is going to be in the afternoon, our local time. What happened that I had to go to Mashhad, and at 9 o'clock in the morning, before my departure, or before I was supposed to depart, I sent the sort of declaration consisting everything that I've already said, as brief as that, to be released when I give the order to release it. Unfortunately here, they made a mistake to release the information beforehand. And then it was during the night. And NBC fabricated an interview with Panamanian president because, again, I had Panama on the phone. I said the president had never spoken to any foreign newspaper, and it was an employee in the sort of presidential palace that he didn't know anything about it, obviously. Therefore, this fabrication started a series of denials and all that, which again being sort of reconsidered, and I probably will talk to the President of Panama in half an hour, 1 hour, to rediscuss the whole thing. But as far as I know, and as far as the mission, which has been going on, coming and going between Panama and here, I think this decision is made and it's being executed.
Why do you think the President of Panama hasn't announced it himself already?
Well, actually, obviously, what I'm sure has annoyed a certain number of officials in Panama was a premature announcement here. So probably they needed to sort of consider it or talk again on the subject to see whether they announce it now or later on, whatever it is, but I'm sure that will be announced in that sense.
Have you had any further official contact with the Panamanian president since your conversation at 3:50 in the morning?
With the president, no, but with the others, yes.
Who do the others? What does that mean?
Well, they will announce it. Now I'm not going to do the same mistake.
Right. So you are convinced that the Shah will be arrested or is already under arrest?
I would say he's under arrest.
Because aides at his island are saying he's not under arrest.
Well, that was in the morning in Panama, and I think he has been woken up.
With the news?
Obviously. Or with something else, I don't know.
There's great skepticism too amongst diplomats, both here and elsewhere, and there is also doubt cast on it by people in the American State Department who have pretty close relations with Panama. What's your view on that?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't see any other possible way to go toward a peaceful solution of this problem. And I believe that Republic of Panama has sort of is trying to contribute to the peaceful solution to the whole crisis. And to that end, they have taken a wise and courageous and honest step and attitude. I wouldn't at any time shade any doubts in my mind that they have done other thing than that.
If you have achieved this, and it will be a personal achievement because you have been in very regular contact with the Panamanian president, obviously it does your own prestige a great deal of good on the eve of presidential election.
That is not really my main concern. My main concern is to try to find a just, honorable, and peaceful solution to this crisis, which bothers everybody in the world. And if I achieve that, I think I probably serve the whole world as well as my country. So in that way, I'm sort of thinking more or less in the international sense, not in a personal or particular sense.
But knowing that Panama has such close relations with the United States, do you not think that there is a danger that possibly you are even being strung along by the Panamanians, that perhaps they're saying one thing to you and then actually doing something else?
Well, so far, the contacts that I had with Panamanians have been based on sincerity, honesty, straightforwardness, frankness, the type of foreign policy that I'm sort of conducting here. And I really don't want to doubt at any moment the integrity of those people, and I think they are very honest and people with tremendous integrity. What they have said, I've accepted. But if, again, they go under the pressure of the United States, that I doubt they will, because at the same time they are rather strong people and they want to, they strive to determine their own destiny and their own independence. And in that case, if the pressure of the United States is extremely hard on them, talking hypothetically, then again the problem with the United States remains the same. So I don't see any benefit out of it one way or the other, except the fact that the course of action which has been taking place is the right one and goes toward the sort of a better and peaceful solution.
What people outside are looking for is some proof that this course of action has actually been taken. The problem is that in Panama itself, so far, there is absolutely no further confirmation beyond the statement that you... Sorry. Foreign Minister, you're therefore confident that certainly this news will be through within, shall we say, 24 hours?
Yes, I am.
And you're confident that the Panamanians will not change their mind?
Yes, I am confident that they will not change their mind.
What led up to this? Because after all, originally, the Panamanians appeared to be giving the Shah sanctuary.
Well, when the time comes, we'll discuss the whole thing. That should be sort of done with the Panamanians together. I don't want to make sort of unilateral comment on that.
Assuming he is under arrest, what happens now? How long is this process of extradition? What do you have to submit? How long is it going to take?
Well, the necessary documents that he's a common criminal and misused funds. So we're trying to make it as rapidly as possible.
But do you have any idea whether is it a matter of weeks, months, days?
I will see.
I understand that the extradition process in Panama is a pretty demanding one. I mean, that you have to fulfill something like 15 different answers in order to achieve extradition, that it is actually very difficult. Are you confident that, or rather, has the Panamanian president given you any indication that you have any hope of extradition?
Well, I have, the question is, the extradition is not the question of the promise, it is the question of legality, and to respect the legal system of Panama, and obviously we are going to fulfill the requirements that they have. So therefore, this is their rights. Obviously, probably you know, the decision of the extradition is the executive decision in Panama, not a judicial one. But Panama has informed us that they want to have the consultative views from the Supreme Court of Panama, and we agreed upon it. We are going to the process, with all due respect to the Panamanians' law.
So there is a possibility that arrest may not necessarily lead to extradition.
Well, the question is, it is the first step of the process of extradition. Why you are a pessimist constantly? I'm optimist.
If extradition occurs, is it extradition to Iran or back to the United States from where he came, or what?
Well, I think it's rather obvious. It's extradition to Iran. We don't want to make all the process to send the Shah back. In that case, the Shah could have gone back to the United States. We don't care about the Shah making all these efforts to send the Shah back to the United States. What's our business to that? We're trying to get him back here.
You've been doing the talking with the Panamanians. What's your own feeling of the chances of actually getting the Shah back to Iran to face trial?
We'll see what we can do. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks very much indeed. You've been responsible for the discussions with the Panamanians. You've been personally responsible for the discussions with the Panamanian president. You've been personally responsible for the discussions with the Panamanian president coming on the eve of the presidential elections here, in which you are a candidate. It's clearly pretty good for your own prestige, isn't it? Are you absolutely convinced then that the Panamanians are going to arrest the Shah? You're convinced then that the Panamanians will arrest the Shah? Will they then release the news that they have arrested the Shah, within the next 24 hours? Assuming he has been arrested, how long will the extradition process take? Weeks, months, or days? What has to happen now? Now that it's confirmed that the Shah is arrested, now that it's confirmed that the Shah is arrested, what has to happen now? Now that it's confirmed that the Shah is arrested, how long is the process of extradition going to take? Weeks, months, or days? In your discussions with the Panamanians, is it your impression that he will be extradited? What are the chances then that he will now be extradited? You've been talking about this with the Panamanian. You've been undertaking the discussions with the Panamanian president. What is your impression of their attitude on the question of extradition? I understand the extradition process in Panama is a pretty difficult one. You have to fulfill anything up to 15 different requirements in order to get somebody out of the country. The process of extradition from Panama is pretty difficult, isn't it? I understand you have to undertake anything up to 15 different requirements to get somebody out of the country. Well, sitting here now, I mean, how confident are you then that the Shah will actually be extradited to Iran? And if he is extradited, will it be to Iran or back to the United States from where he came? And what do you think are the realistic chances of the Shah ever actually being returned to Iran to face trial? Fine.